I have got something really sweet for you today. We are just outside the Night Vision Academy, which is like a little, let's take a walk, which is just a little production studio in Edmonton. And basically one of my good friends, Steve Rowland, he is the owner or co-owner of Black Octopus sample pack company. It's like the third or fourth rated one on Splice. He is giving a seminar today. We actually have a seminar, a whole weekend seminar planned out for the end of September about how to make money as a musician and how to just have a successful mindset for producing. So he's doing one today on just the money mindsets of things, and I'm co-hosting it, and I'm coming and I'm just going to help him out or facilitating it, giving him some information, introducing him, kind of that kind of stuff, just helping him out with the seminar. But I'm going to be taking some video and getting a lot of like nice little tidbits of everything. So this is going to be awesome. I'm excited to show you guys. I'm super excited to share with you all the stuff we have coming out. This huge weekend, we've been putting so much time, so much effort into this weekend coming up at the end of September. It's going to be a live event for a weekend long. It's going to be sick. It's going to be action-packed. And yeah, I can't wait to share some more information about that with you. But let's get into the seminar and check out some of what he has got to say.
What I'm promoting is treating our music career like a job. And so this is a mental approach. This isn't, there's action steps, there's habits and behaviors, it requires discipline and planning and goal setting, which are all really fun things to do when we get good at it. But it requires that mental switch to go off, that no, this is what I am going to do for a living and there's nothing that's going to stop. So Tom's got a lot to say after that. Everybody say, woo, Tom!
What's up, guys? My name's Tom, I go by Thomas Anthony, and I've been in the music game for over 10 years. Just putting out music through 3 different projects. I started off with PEEP and Tom, that was my child project with me as a kid. Then I moved to PEEP This, which I had tons of successful releases on Dim Mak, Punks, Hotcakes, Interscope, a whole shitload of sweet labels. And that was my teenage years as a music producer. And then I moved on to becoming this project that I'm on now, where I'm super solidified, making full-time income on my music, teaching music. And basically what I do is make music, I rebranded. I started off by myself. I started off from the ground up and have been building up my own new brand. I started doing about a year and a half ago, and it's been a lot of work, but it's been super duper successful so far. And yeah, I just wanted to share some things with you because I make music. That's half of what I do, and the other half of what I do is I help music producers finish music on top of having a part-time job, making it record label and festival ready, all in 8 to 12 weeks. And I teach really healthy habits and how to have fun while you drink.
He's a genius.
But yeah, so what I want to talk to you about is treating this actually like a job, because it's super duper important to treat this like a job. I used to just do this half-assed and I didn't get very far with it. I just kind of do it on the weekends, whenever I want to, or a huge thing was whenever I felt motivated to do it, which was barely ever. I tried to think of I want to make some music this weekend, then I'm okay, I'll have a coffee first, and I'm okay, maybe I'll take a nap. I know those two didn't really go well together, but that was my thought process throughout the day, and they didn't really work really well. So when you want to become a music producer, just like Steve said, you got to make that decision inside you. It's I'm a music producer, I'm going to make money at this. This is going to be my full-time gig. It's not always going to be right like that. You can't just make anything a full-time gig like that. You have to plan it out. You have to think about it and have actual steps to go forward and do that. So you have to have one thing that I'm super nerdy about besides making music and teaching music is productivity and time management. I'm super nerdy about that. I love it. I just think about it all the time. I'm how can I be more efficient at this? How can I automate this system? And I just love doing that.
Who would benefit from more productivity and efficiency?
Yeah, this is something I literally have down to a science, and that's what I teach in my mentoring program is how to be a music producer after work. I know everybody here works. I know everybody has other engagements. I have a fiance. I have friends that I want to hang out with. I have other hobbies and stuff. And to manage all that is a skill, and it's a really, really important skill to learn as a music producer. So you have to commit to it, making it like a job. You need to have a schedule. So you have to plan out all of your tasks during the week. So your work tasks, your time that you want to spend with your family, your friends, all the stuff that you need to do in music, whether like Steve was saying, he has a podcast, he has sample packs to put out, he has his own music he wants to do. Most of you guys will just have music to do, so planning out your music tasks, writing those all down, prioritizing them, making space for them throughout the week, and committing to it like a full-time job. Now, before, when I was working a day job, I'd work 4 or 5 days a week or whatever, and I would, 4 or 5 days a week, and I wouldn't have time to do anything, so I really have to schedule things in and make time for important tasks. That meant that I had to choose to get up earlier to make music because I knew that I was more efficient and I could have more creativity in the mornings. So getting up before work, I trained myself just through all these things that I teach in the mentoring program and in other courses of like how to get up at 5 in the morning even though you don't want to before.
Who wants to get up at 5 in the morning?
I do. It's actually super sweet. Once you get the habit of it, it's actually super sweet. But then I even moved from once I transitioned from the day job. Now I can literally get up whenever I want. Like I don't have to get up. I have my hot ass fiance in bed with me, just wanting me. She's like, "Come, Kyle, just chill." And I'm like, "No, I gotta get out there. I gotta hustle. I gotta do it." And that is like the hardest thing to do ever. But I've trained myself and I have habits in place and I have systems in place to make me able to do that. And that's part of making it like a job. And there's things that are going to pull you towards your destination. You have to have things that are going to push you out of bed. So like, you need 2 angles to hit things at. Furthermore, you need to have a plan to execute these things. And also, when it comes to being professional as a music professional, as treating this like a business, you need to how it comes across how you present yourself. How you present yourself in person, how you present yourself online, how you present yourself to the world. This is very important and it needs to be thought through before you actually just go out there and start saying dumb shit. Yeah, so, and also another huge thing, this is important for me and I know it's really important with Steve, and it's why we've become such good friends, and it's because integrity. When I say I'm going to do something, it gets done. When he says he's going to do something, it gets done. This needs to happen throughout your whole lives in the music career. You say you're going to make a song within a certain deadline, you need to make that shit happen. If you say that you're going to do some sort of task, or just even give feedback to someone, that is super, super important. You need to be keep integrity to other people and to yourselves. Yeah, just like delivering results, getting up on time, that's a huge one. Like whatever you say, holding yourself accountable holding accountability towards yourself and what you're going to do is really, really important. Now, when it comes to music, you obviously want to treat it like a business, just like if any of you guys had part-time jobs, I'm sure there's been like mission statements for companies, or they have goals that you have to like go through. Same thing you need for yourself. You need a vision, you need a direct arrow of where you want to be in the future. You have to have everything aligned to that. Then furthermore, a detailed plan and some goals that are measurable. So those are all the fun productivity stuff that you can talk about later. And also, yeah, vision, plan to execute, and then the habits. You need the habits to make those things happen. Because you have a plan and you don't have the habits instilled to actually make that shit happen, it's not going to happen. 100% won't happen. Yeah, and then another thing is just like setting work hours. So when you are at work, I know in my day job that when I was at work, I would half-ass it and I would just get on Facebook or checking Instagram, all that stuff. Training yourself. And this is very difficult, and there are strategies to do to help you out with this, but to actually work while you're working. So setting a little technique that I like to use is the Pomodoro technique. So I'll work for 55 minutes, and then without distraction on whatever task I'm doing, I'll take a 5-minute break or whatever, just check Facebook, go to the bathroom, whatever, and then back to work. And I try to do as many blocks of those as possible at a time. And that's how you build the skill of like a work ethic skill, and you actually get things done throughout the day. And yeah, so setting deadlines is huge. Yeah, you must set deadlines. If you say I'm going to be done this project whenever, it'll take you like 4 or 5 months to finish. If you're like 2 weeks, this project's got to be done. You're going to get that thing done. It doesn't have to be 100%, but you will. But if you consistently keep that deadline, over time, the quality will get better and better as you move on to make your own music. A huge thing. This is incredibly essential to success, and in any business, most business people do this, most businesses do this, is getting help from other people. So getting a mentor. That doesn't mean you have to pay for a mentor. When you pay for a mentor, you can ask them any questions. You're like, listen, I paid you, tell me what I need to know, show me the exact plan that I need to do. if you're not paying for a mentor, just give value, as much value as you can to somebody, and just kind of ask questions here and there. And this comes, I used to work at McDonald's, and they make you do like PD like days or whatever. You have to go to these trainings or something. And I was like, these trainings are so lame. But now that I'm focusing on my own business and my own music career, I'm super excited to come to things like this and to take online courses. I've taken so many online courses. I have like mentors in like, well, I want them in every area of my life, but I have them in business and music business. Actually, one of my recent mentors is Advocate. He just recently started mentoring me, and I was like, hell yeah. So he's a boss, and he's been helping me just straight on my music and just getting constructive feedback from people, figuring out exactly where you're going wrong, and then how to change that. That is detrimental to you, or detrimental to something. It's really important to your success. And then having accountability as well. So I know mentors obviously keep you accountable, keep you on point with how much you on the deadlines, but if you can't do this, just hit up a friend, write out a bunch of checks for like $300 or $400 and say, here's what I need to do. If I don't get this shit done, cash this check. It will get your ass in gears and make that shit happen. Mindset, and then a huge one is having like...
You can send me the checks.
Another thing you can do is being a lifelong learner. This is just something I was discussing with Steve the other day. Obviously, you want to learn as much as you can within your life, but even if you go into a situation and you actually know what the heck the person is talking about, if you're like, I know this. Don't come at it from that approach that you're like, I've heard this before, because that instantly shuts your brain off, and you're like, I don't really care, I'm going to stop listening.
This is really important what you just said. Yeah. So there might be something that either of us have been saying that you're like, I already know this. Now, these are super dangerous words, because when we go, I already know this, we mentally check out and block ourselves from receiving something new. So the reframe is that when you notice your mind going, yeah, I already know this, tell your mind, thanks for sharing. I'm going to drop back in now.
Huge, very, very huge. And that just trains your brain to like, just scout any nuggets that you can. Like there may be like one or two little tiny things that you missed from already knowing that whole fact. And you could probably even teach to the person really well. But just by getting that fact back at you, you gain those little knowledge nuggets. And then you can those keep compiling, and making you a better, more badass music producer and business person. And the last thing I just want to leave you guys with, two more things, is always as a business and as a music producer and as a person in general, always just try to add value. That is the biggest thing, is just consistently try to add value no matter what situation you're in. I know that sometimes we get in the mode of trying to take value or just habit forming taking value, but just by actually just trying to give value. But the last thing, and this is just a little hack that I've experienced, is I said treat your music career like business, but don't call it a business. Don't call it work. Because I have done this so many times. I'm just like, I've gotten into the habit. I'm like, oh, I got like, when you do it full time, I'm like, oh, I got to work tomorrow. I'm like, and I just felt internally the energy that I would put into it would be actually treating it like work. Our brain associates work with something we don't want to do, and play with something we're like, hell yeah, we want to do. So I just changed it. And I just, instead of having my like work to do list, it's like my fun, badass music things to do. And I was just saying that, I'm like, oh, I got some sweet, fun, badass music things to do tomorrow. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to do this shit. But if I say, I'm like, oh, I got to work tomorrow, I got to do this, I got to mix down this track, I'm like, I got to find this chord progression. It just puts you in a different negative energy space, and you want to come to that with that little